Turn me up some. Whoa, whoa. Turn me up some.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of the Rant Show. I'm, as always, your host for this Rant Show, N7X Karu. And we're going to be talking about a video game franchise this time. Yes, we're not going to be talking about YouTubers, as I think I've talked about like my past 3 Rant shows, or talking about anything else. We're actually going to focus on a video game, or like I said, video game franchise this time. And the video game franchise we're going to be talking about is one currently that I'm doing here on my channel, and that is the Saints Row franchise. Now, for those of you that do not know who or what Saints Row is, boy, are you fucking missing out. It's not like my all-tier, top franchise, game franchise at the moment, but it's still really fucking good. Hence why I'm playing one of the games on my channel at the moment. And for a while now, you can go and search Twitter for yourself. For a while now, people have been still asking for a Saints Row 5 to come out. There have been 4 in total so far, and people, even though the last game is like 6 years old at this point, people are still asking for a Saints Row 5 to come out. Now, for those of you that are familiar with Saints Row, for those of you that are not, when Saints Row 1 first came out, it was compared a lot to Grand Theft Auto. And that pretty much, that pretty much carried over to Saints Row 2 as well. Saints Row 3 is when they started trying to break away from that, and Saints Row 4 and Saints Row 4 actually is where they just went, tried to distance themselves from people comparing them to Grand Theft Auto as much as possible. For those of you that played Saints Row 4, you know what I'm talking about. And I honestly, even with Saints Row 1 and 2 and partially 3, I never really thought they were copying off of the Grand Theft Auto franchise. I really didn't think that I thought it was still its own thing, but it is what it is. And honestly, I think that's why they made Saints Row 4 what it was and how the story went, because they wanted to try and distance themselves from those rumors and from people in general comparing them to Grand Theft Auto as much as possible. All in all, whether it's been the first 3 or 4, like I said, I like them. I like 4. I'll be honest, I like 4 a little less, but I still like playing it. And eventually, I'll probably wind up playing it here on the channel as well if enough of you people want to see it. But like I said, 6 years ago is when Saints Row 4 came out. So it's been 6 years since then. If you go through Twitter, you'll still see people asking for it. And I'm sure there's still forums of it up on Reddit, have people asking for it, and so on and so forth. And as most of you know, THQ, the original owners of the Saints Row franchise, went bankrupt a while ago. Then the franchise switched hands to Deep Silver, and Deep Silver's the ones that came out with Saints Row 4. Then THQ Nordic, the only video game company out there left that has the THQ name, bought Deep Silver, so now they have the rights to the Saints Row franchise. And they've done it before on Twitter in the past, although it's been a while since they have recently. They've teased about coming out with a Saints Row 5 in the past, I guess just to get a general reaction and see if there's anyone still interested in a 5 coming out, but they haven't done much besides that, to be quite honest. And in my honest opinion, would I like to see a Saints Row franchise, not Saints Row franchise, but Saints Row 5 come out? Yeah, I would. Like I said, I love the franchise itself. I was a little less of a fan than 4, with 4 than I was, 1, 2, and 3, but I thought it was still good. Like I said, I'll probably wind up eventually playing here on the channel again myself. But honestly, would I like to see a 5? Yeah, I would. I don't know with how 4 ended off where they would take the story, but I would still like to see one. And because to be honest, I think the pulse of Saints Row needs revitalized, because you still have Saints. He's not trying to compare it to Grand Theft Auto, but I mean the Grand Theft Auto franchise is still pumping after being out for so long. Several other game franchises have been, their veins have still been pumping after being out for so long. I would like personally to see one of the game franchises, wow, I can have a word right today. game franchises that I love to get revitalized. And if nothing else, because I was thinking about this, you know, even if they didn't do a Saints Row 5, but they decided to do what some video game companies have done in the past with their games after, you know, one of those games haven't come out for a while, where they do a complete reboot. Several franchises have done this so far throughout gaming history. If, you know, they even decided to go that route instead of just coming out with a, you know, Saints Row 5, like, you know, completely start over, I wouldn't mind that. My only stipulation with that, personally as a fan of the franchise itself, is if they go that route, to at the very least get some of the same voice actors to voice the people in the new franchise of Saints Row. Like, if they're going to have a GAT, obviously, if they reboot the entire franchise, you know, get the guy who voiced GAT to, you know, obviously voice GAT again, and get, if they reintroduce Shaundi and all of them, get the people who voice Shaundi and Pierce and everyone else to voice them as well, and so on and so forth. You know, same with Aisha, so on and so on. So if they, at least they don't, if they don't just go outright and make a Saints Row 5, I would at least, and they do go the route that some, you know, video game companies have done in the past with their franchises and completely reboot it after a while, I would at least like them to do that. If nothing else, stick with sort of the, you know, the same storyline. You know, obviously, if you want to draw new people in, you're going to have to go, you know, a bit out there from the original story that the previous franchise had. But, you know, go sort of the same route. I don't know how else to word it, but at least do that. And like I said, the main thing, get some original voice actors to be in the new series, especially if you have some of the same characters in the new series. That's all I'm saying. But all in all, whether it be a reboot or Saints Row 5, in short, I would like to see another one come out. Because there's been several games, like I said, Grand Theft Auto is a perfect example. They keep on coming out with DLCs for the online version, so the blood's still pumping in that video game. So I don't see why Nordic, THQ, if they put their heads together, couldn't do the same with the Saints Row franchise and, you know, get the blood pumping back in that game. Because Saints Row, in general, still has fans. There's still fans, like I said. You can go on Twitter and just search the hashtag Saints Row 5 and still see that there are still people asking for a Saints Row 5. There's still people asking for a new Saints Row game to come out. And like I said, whether it's a Saints Row 5 or a reboot of the entire series, you'll probably have a lot of people still happy about it, myself included. Repeating myself here, but like I said, if they do though, just a bit of advice, if somehow, you know, THQ Nordic, you see this, I doubt it, but if you do, go the route of a reboot, and you are thinking about introducing some of the same characters that were in the previous franchise, at least, at the very least, if you go that route, get some of the same people to voice them, you know, like get, you know, the lady who voiced Shaundi to, you know, obviously voice Shaundi again. If you introduce GAT in the new franchise, get the same guy to, you know, voice GAT, and so on and so forth. At the very least, if you go that route, please at least do that. But even, like, I don't know, just at least if you reboot the series, if you're going to try and revitalize Saints Row at all, at least do that. Or come out with the Saints Row 5. Like I said, I don't know how you would pick up where the story left off. It'd be interesting considering, you know, I'm not trying to get spoilers here for those of you who haven't played Saints Row 4 yet. And I know some people might be skeptical with things that they've heard in the past, especially after the game first came out about Saints Row 4, but trust me, play it for yourself, it's still pretty good. For those of you who haven't played it yet, and are a little skeptical about ever playing it, but you've played all the other three. Play 4, it's not that bad. But without giving away what happened in Saints Row 4, like I said, I don't know where would you pick up or where the story would go at the end of Saints Row 4 leading into 5, but please, THQ Nordic, put some blood pumping back into the veins of Saints Row, whether it's either by rebooting the entire franchise or, better yet, coming out with the Saints Row 5. And if you do, by the way, one other small favor you could do for me, come out with like a, you know, like a special version, like you've done with some of your games in the past of the Saints Row franchise, where like it's like a deluxe version and like a digital deluxe version for those people that, you know, just download the game onto their systems instead of going out and buying it. Like have like a special edition for the people that go out and actually buy the physical copy, and make like a digital deluxe version for people that just download it onto their system. Do that as well if you can, please. If you ever revitalize the franchise, guys, either way, please, just as a fan of the Saints Row franchise, please, 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 you know, just come out with another game. Like I said, no, I'm treating myself, whether it's by, you know, coming out with Saints Row 5 or completely rebooting the game and starting from scratch again. But like I said, reiterating myself, I know if you do go that route and you are thinking about introducing some of the same characters that were in the original franchise into the new one, at least get the same people to voice act them. So, you know, you can at least have a little bit of nostalgic, you know, feeling for the people who played the original franchise and are now obviously going to play this one. Alright? You know, not a heated rant show this time, but I just wanted to voice my opinion after I put some thought into what I wanted to do with this rant show, and obviously, me playing the Saints Row 2 on the channel right now, got my, I guess, juices pumping in excitement for what Saints Row was. So I figured, you know, I might as well talk about something that I've seen on Twitter and something that I'm in the middle of playing right now. So yeah, please, HQ Nordic, since you own the rights to the Saints Row franchise now, please, please, please come out with a new Saints Row game. Just in general, whether it's by introducing a Saints Row 5 or rebooting the entire franchise, either or, just please, please come out with another Saints Row. So guys, I'm going to leave it off there. Like I said, not a heated rant show, just wanted to voice my opinion on a game franchise that I would like to see revitalized. That's it. But I'll see you guys later. As always, peace, love, and chicken grease. Oh, for well. I'll see you on my Spark Walkers later. As always, welcome to my domain. I'll see you guys next time. As always, and forever. Oh, before I do, please remember that if you do like this video, to leave that like, and also let me know in the comments below what you thought about this. If you'd like to see Saints Row come out again or not, and tell me why or why you wouldn't. But with that said, guys, also please remember that if you do like videos like this and you're not already subscribed to the channel, to hit that subscribe button, and make sure you also hit that bell button so that way YouTube can hopefully let you know when I post videos. But now with that being said, I'm out of here. As always, and forever, peace.